this just doesn't sound like something that you can have multiple stories for. Hey y'all, it's Megan. If you are returning to my channel, welcome back, and if you're new, welcome aboard. So today we are talking about times that I was embarrassing in a grocery store. You're probably sitting there going, no Megan, how many times could that happen? That seems like a very specific thing to have happen multiple times. You have not lived with me. So they all kind of center around music. And the first one, for backstory, my dad's thing was 70s music. Mom too, but dad is really the music guy in my family. So I have grown up on a steady diet of the Eagles and Kansas and all of that kind of stuff. America, oh God, Ventura Highway. The number of times that I have heard the Horse with No Name album. Have always kind of recognized 70s songs, and I feel like a lot of people do. But one time, I got to demonstrate just how well I had been listening to our car concerts that we always had when we would drive. So my mom and I were walking through the grocery store one time, and I think my mom was with me for all of these, actually. We were walking through the grocery store, and it happened to be the commissary on base when I was 13, I think. And so we're walking through, and I happened to hear the Wild Cherry song, Play That Funky Music. So we're just walking, we're chatting, we're doing the grocery shopping thing, you know, what kind of peanut butter are we gonna get, and how many, you know, packs of this do we need? And then all of a sudden, at the exact same time, and you know the part of the song we got to, my mom and I, without coordination, once again, if you've seen the video where I talked about us bursting into songs spontaneously at the exact same moment on Main Street at Disney World, that's what's getting ready to happen. If you haven't seen that, I'll link it down there for you. But we looked at each other and went, play that funky music, why? Loud, off-key, very together, no harmony at all. But we were very proud of ourselves for having done that at the exact same moment. And I guess that's not really embarrassing. I don't actually know if anyone else saw us. They might have. Don't really care. We were having a good time, and then we finished the song out to our adoring fans on the potato chip aisle. But you know, just sometimes the music moves you, and if you were in the store, it really doesn't matter. Another time the music moved me, around the same age, 12, 13, I was in Costco, and I was 12. I know I was 12 because it was the year that I was taking a dance class, and that dance class was called Precision Funk. I still don't know what that means exactly, but that's what it was called. And I like to think of it as like baby hip hop. You know, I was 12. I was built like a spaghetti noodle. The lack of rhythm was absolutely appalling. But that was the class I was taking. And the older girls class had a dance to the song Wild Thing. And I was in love with this dance. I had watched them practice, and I was like, I learned it, I memorized it in case for some reason one of them suddenly fell ill and they needed to call upon, you know, Betty Spaghetti over here to come and join the crew to finish out the routine. I would be ready. I was ready to have my number called. The song happened to be playing in Costco one day. I'm walking around with my big old, the big platform sandals. I feel certain I had those on. We're walking through Costco, and it got to the part where they say Wild Wild West, and that part of the dance was very subtle. It went a little something like this. And I just proceeded to do that in Costco. And my dad's face, what are you doing? Stop it. Because I was getting it. I think that was the only move I did, which is probably fortunate because there was another part. Let me get ready here. There's another part where they went forward, turned it around, and then you got one of these. I didn't do that. Just rodeo. So the last one, that was when I was in high school. Something you should know about me. In high school, I was obsessed with Michael Jackson. I loved his music, I loved his dancing. That's the entirety of the backstory. I liked Michael Jackson. So I was 14, brand new in high school. My mom and I are at the grocery store, again, just the two of us, and we're walking down, I think it was the cereal aisle. I'm fairly certain it was the cereal aisle, not that that's important. But we're walking down an aisle, and I hear Billie Jean. The spirit, the music was moving. I had to do something. And we were alone on this aisle. It was fine. And I moonwalked down the aisle. Probably half of the aisle, just because, you know, once you get going, it's kind of hard to stop, and it's also kind of fun once you figured out how to do it. And we were alone, except for the man in the ECV at the very end of the aisle, who was driving by, saw it, put that sucker in reverse, you know, meep, 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 meep. I mean, literally just like and then put his hands to his mouth and yelled, "Get it, Michael!" down the aisle at me. My mom was just like, nice. And then we moved on. So it wasn't actually that embarrassing for either of us, but you know, it's just like me being socially awkward, I guess. I guess that's really what this should be. Me being awkward in grocery stores. Because yeah, it's not embarrassing. I'm not embarrassed by any of it. Because, like, just a little bit of me being me. Bonus points for you if you recognize that movie quote. Cameron and I quote that movie all the time. So that is it for today. That's just a couple of stories of me being awkward in the grocery store, which again, I just can't believe that that's like a whole video topic for me. That seems like a one and done kind of thing, but here we are. There were multiple times that I did that. Let me know who the band or the artist was that you were obsessed with in, like during high school or growing up. Let's see what kind of music taste we have going on in the Jungle Crew. Let me know those down below, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye, y'all. Did Mama still moonwalk? Let's see, can Mama moonwalk still? You moonwalking with me? Dang it. I wanna love you, PYT.